y'all, it's Tracy, and I have a super exciting announcement. Me and my BuzzFeed audio brothers and sisters are going to be performing in Philadelphia during the Democratic National Convention. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Come see me on stage along with Evan McMorris Santoro of No One Knows Anything, our politics podcast, and Katie Natopoulos and Ryan Broderick of our super weird Internet Explorer podcast, and special guest Jean Grey, who's going to play us some jam tunes. She's going to sing a song, and I'm going to try really hard to get her drunk so that I won't be the only one drunk on stage. It's called Historical Event. It's July 25th. Doors open at 6 p.m. The show starts at 7. And it is at a place where I saw one of my first Roots concerts when I was living in Philly, the Trocadero Theater in Philadelphia. Come see us. Come hang out with us. There's going to be an after party so you can drink with us. If you want tickets, go to historicalevent.splashthat.com. That is historicalevent.splashthat.com. Hey, everybody. I'm Tracy.
And I'm Heben.
Heben, you sound different.
What do you mean?
This is another round with Heben and Tracy, even though we have a guest host today.
It's me.
Hi, Sylvia. So if you're listening right now and you're really confused, it's okay. It makes sense. Don't panic. Don't worry. Heben is at work rubbing elbows with Stephen Tyrone Colbert. So we decided we would have our good friend and colleague, Miss Sylvia Obel, come and sit in for Heben because she's the perfect person for today's show. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for letting me sit in your seat, Heben.
Oh, hey girl, we miss you. We miss you. Hi, Sylvia.
Hey, Tracy.
So I said that you're the perfect person for this, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you've already been on the show teaching us all about the Kardashians and the Blac Chynas and the Robs and the Kylies and all the other stuff that I don't know. And two, you love Martin, the show. I love Martin, the show.
I do.
You recently kind of a little bit hung out with Tichina Arnold at Essence Fest.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking to Tichina Arnold today.
I'm so excited. She's so much fun.
Me too. Let's get into it. So Martin, the show Martin, You've seen it.
Oh, have I?
You're familiar. I'm in love with the show, obviously.
Yes.
As are you.
Yes.
Talk to me about the moment that you fell in love with the television show Martin.
Oh, I don't know if there was an exact moment. I came in a little bit later because my parents really didn't let me watch Martin at the time. So it wasn't until like middle school, high school, when I was kind of watching TV on my own that I fell in love with it via reruns and thought it was hilarious. And I mean, everything from their impeccable use of stuffed animals.
There's so many good stuffed animal moments.
Stuffed animal moments to all of the characters and Martin just playing everybody and just the jokes. And just like, it's just funny.
So if you, by chance, are not familiar with the show, if you're too young, I don't want to talk about it, but it's fine. If you just never watched it, that's allowed. You can change that now. The internet exists. The show premiered in 1992 and ran until 1997. And it was just a shining beacon of hilarious blackness. And it was just so good. And everybody should watch it. Martin Payne, played by Martin Lawrence, who was a comedian and actor, is a radio DJ in Detroit. Right? He worked at WZUP. And his tagline was, "What's up?" That was a terrible "What's up?" Nope, can't do it. Not gonna do it. He has a girlfriend. Her name is Gina. Her, like, the running joke with Gina is that she has like a really, really, really big head. It's very heavy with like very witty, punny insults. And y'all know how much I love a pun. You know I love a pun.
Yeah, we do.
So it's Martin, is his girlfriend Gina. He's got his two best friends, Tommy and Cole. Cole's really stupid. Tommy is just like very mysterious and doesn't have a job. Like the whole reign of the show is everybody trying to figure out what he does for a living. And then there is Pam, who is Gina's best friend, played by Tichina Arnold. And that's who we're talking to today, Pam/Tichina Arnold. Like really become ingrained in like the tapestry of Black pop culture. There's still like a bunch of references in like Kendrick's music. One of my favorite Kendrick moments, he's doing an interview with I'm assuming that she's British, I don't know, some white lady. And he said something about Martin and she was like, "No, I don't know what that is." And he straight up just like got up and walked away. He was like, "You never seen Martin?"
As he should have.
And just left.
disrespectful.
It has lasted the test of time. It's so good. I've written at least like 6 or 7 BuzzFeed posts about Martin. As soon as I got here, I was like, they were like, write about what you love. And I was like, you just told me to write about Martin.
No, that's
unendingly.
That's no lie. Before I even got to BuzzFeed, the first thing I read from you was Martin post. That's how I found you online. And I was like, this chick is a Martin historian.
Wow, I'm so glad that Morgan brought us together this way.
Me too.
Let's talk about our top 5 favorite episodes.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. What, in your opinion, Miss Sylvia, is the 5th greatest episode of Martin of all time?
Oh, 5th. Huh. It's an interesting place to start.
5th.
The 5th. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. I love the baby episode where Gina convinces Martin to let them have a baby shower in the apartment. And then the friend goes into labor because then the baby just shoots across out of the woman across the room, and then Martin just catches it like a football.
I caught him. Yeah. Martin, wait, hold on, man. Where's the umbilical cord? Damn it, Tommy. We don't need an umbilical cord. This is TV.
And he's wearing a shower cap and like kitchen cleaner gloves.
That episode traumatized me because I had not yet known what childbirth was supposed to look like.
I didn't either. I still don't because I refuse to watch those videos. It's a long story
messier
with me.
than that.
And then when he comes out of the kitchen with the shower cap and the gloves on, he's like, how far apart are the attractions? That was a solid episode.
It was a good one.
My number 4 would probably be the No Justice, No Peace episode. You remember that one?
Yes, I agree with you.
Known also as the infamous Do the Pocket Knife episode. So Martin gets a parking ticket and he goes to court because he's just like, I'm not paying this ticket. He asks his own lawyer because he doesn't think the cop's going to show up. And so once he finds out that he's not going to win the case, he decides to act quote unquote crazy, right? So he's like jumping all in the jury box. The jury box.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh.
And there's also, I'm getting to the point, I know I'm rambling, but there's also a point where he's interviewing Tommy, his friend that don't got no job.
This is my favorite part of the episode. My favorite part of the episode.
And he's looking through one of Tommy's like date books. You remember date books? Like back before you had a phone that you could keep all of your numbers in. Yeah. And Martin's like, right here you got it written down, GTD. What does GTD mean?
Tommy, I've asked a question. What does GTD stand for? I answered your question. Man, you are in a court of law. There are a lot of people in here. We can't hear you. Your Honor, you're going to have to make them speak up. What does GTD stand for? Got the draws, okay?
Here's the part that you will miss if you blink too fast. When Tommy O's got the draws, in the background there's a bailiff, right? Mm-hmm. Just he has no lines. This man is his only job is to stand there. But when Tommy says got the draws, he starts just getting it. He starts dancing. And it is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. So that's my number 4. Number 3 for me is an episode called Heading for Trouble. And that's the episode where Gina gets her head caught in the bedpost.
Because she got a big head. Get it?
Okay, look, baby, don't panic. I got 911 on the line. Hey, look here. 911, my woman, she's stuck in bed. Well, what happened, right? We bought this new bed, right? So we got the bouncing doing this old freaking diggy type thing. And then, damn, just look, use your imagination, all right? Yeah.
What are they saying?
Baby, they laughing at us, Gina.
Tisha Campbell is such an amazing comedic actress. Like the physical comedy, I feel like women don't get a lot of credit for being good physical comedic actresses, especially women of color. Mm-hmm. But she killed it when she was trying to pry it out.
I think my head is swelling. I think it's swelling. For me, the top 2, okay, so number 2, I guess we can agree that it's the Suspicious Minds episode.
Yes!
Because want to talk about stuffed animal use?
Oh my gosh.
The Emmy for Best Stuffed Animal used
goes
in a sitcom.
to. So for those listeners who haven't seen this episode, or if you just don't remember it, this is the episode where Martin gets a new portable CD player. And mind you, this was in 1994.
Right.
So on the show, this CD player, this little portable CD player that nobody even uses anymore in 2016 was $400.
Hey, I'd fight you over $400 too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But it's so wild to think that like a Discman, as they were called then back in the day, was $400. So he buys this Discman. It comes up missing. So he holds like this little
New Jack City inspired meeting.
Yeah. And everybody's wearing black.
Just like in the movie.
Now you're all probably wondering why I called you here.
Hell yeah, you dragged us out in the middle of a stormy night. What's wrong with you, fool? And why did you want us all in black?
I'm setting my scene.
When Martin was going around the table threatening everybody, dead serious, like he was not cracking.
Right.
With a stuffed animal Rottweiler.
Big ass stuffed Rottweiler.
And it was so close to when New Jack City had come out, so I can only imagine how funny it was then, because Martin is the complete opposite of that movie.
He really wanted the part where like he could like tell the dog to like just sit still or something. And so he puts the dog down. And he's like, sit, but the dog falls.
He's a fool.
And so instinctively he points to it and he's like, lay. And everybody in the cast, like you can see Tommy turning around, like trying not to laugh.
Okay, so number one, Tracy.
Number one,
Drum roll.
clearly. There's probably no question in any Martin fan's mind that the best episode, hands down, by far, no contest, is the Chilligan's Island episode.
Yes.
With the puppy monster thing.
Puppy monster. The most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
That puppy monster thing's ass.
Jump the puppy monster.
So the background of this episode, Martin and Gina's all sad and pouty because she wants to go on like a really nice vacation. Martin's super cheap. So like he finds this tropical vacation like on the back of a cereal box or something. And it turns out that Tommy and Pam, because they're dating at this point, end up on the same island. And it's like, it's a shithole. There's like just everything's like falling down, whatever.
Right.
And at some point, this raccoon, possum,
we don't know what it was,
stuffed mouse looking thing just comes out of nowhere and starts attacking everybody.
There's a puppy behind you, man.
And this is like one of the few moments where we see like real comradeship between Pam and Martin, because you know they were mortal enemies, but they teamed up to beat up the puppy monster thing.
And they let the animals fight back in a way where it's like so funny to me, where it's like clearly it's a stuffed animal.
Physical comedy.
Clearly we know it's not real, but it's just, that makes it funnier.
I really want to just like shut this whole recording down and just go watch Martin. Is that an option? Can we? Bye guys, thanks.
Short episode, sorry.
I'm trying very hard to be chill right now. I don't know how good a job I'm doing because I'm a really bad actress.
Awesome.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Y'all, I'm hyped as hell because Tichina Arnold is here. You know her from A Million and Three Things. Martin, Everybody Hates Chris. She's now on Survivor's Remorse. If you have not seen Little Shop of Horrors, stop listening to this podcast and just go watch it, please. We have 1,000 questions. We're just gonna get into it.
Oh, let's go.
Hi.
Listen,
Thank you for being here.
Hello, everybody out there in podcast land.
So a question that we usually start nearly all of our interviews with is, what do you do and why? We know what you do, but I would love to hear you tell us what you do and why you do it.
Well, I am, I guess, an entertainer. I used to drive my mother crazy. I started singing at the age of 3 in church. By the time I was 11, I was really driving my mother crazy. And my Uncle Ronnie, God rest his soul, he was one of the first people that I knew that died of HIV. And he was he was like my mother's father, and we looked up to him, and he was just a Renaissance kind of man, and just, loved jazz and music. So he was my inspiration into getting into show business. He said, look, Diane, which is my mom, he said, why don't you put her in show business? Have her start auditioning, put her on the stage, put her in theater, which is exactly what we did. And once I hit that stage, I did the Me Nobody Knows at the age of 12. By the time I sat on stage and realized, whoa, I love this.
Wow.
The audience is watching me. Even when I was 3 and watching all the congregation in church just stop and listen to me sing. I got the bug. So I've been in show business all my life. I love and I respect it. And God has blessed me to do what I love doing and sharing my gift with the world.
Amen. So you've had a long, beautiful, amazing career, and it's now found you playing a show called Survivor's Remorse.
Yes.
And on Survivor's Remorse, Cassie is the mother of Cam Calloway, who has just made it big, getting his first NBA contract, and is now taking his whole family and a little bit of the hood with him as he deals with fame and new money, but also coming from humble beginnings.
What about this role, like, could you see in yourself?
Every role I play, I insert a little bit of myself into it, only because I want to come across as an actress. I want to be as natural as possible. When I played on Everybody Hates Chris, I was like, I don't want to play a mother. Oh, God, I don't want to play a mother, because once you play a mother, you're going to always play a mother. And then but I was still young. I was still young in the sense where I was a new mother. My daughter was only like 1.5. So I didn't have much experience of being a mother, and now I'm playing a mother of 3 damn kids. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I inserted a little bit of my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, the 3 matriarchs that raised me. That's who Rochelle was. But Cassie is a lot like me. I'm a potty mouth. I'm no nonsense. My daughter is older now, so I whoop ass. So it's that kind of thing where I had so much experience, my own personal experiences, to bring to Cassie.
Interesting you bring up Rochelle versus Cassie.
Yeah,
because
everybody keeps asking me that
I love
too.
that you've played these different Black mothers that, Rochelle was like lower income, and Cassie played, your son on the show is an NBA player now, so now they're rushed into like upper class. And so what do you think stays true about Black motherhood regardless of economic class?
The one consistent thing about Black motherhood is that you are mother first. That's where life begins. It's like you are a mother. But aside from being a mother, you have to learn how to be a friend as well. You have to learn how to be a listener. You have to learn how to shut the fuck up. You have to learn when, it's just, and these are all the things that I'm still learning as a mother. You have to learn how to listen. You have to learn when to listen. And I'm finding out all of these things that I'm learning being Elijah's mother, now being a mother again on television. I'm able to insert all of these things that I'm learning because motherhood doesn't come with a manual. You don't know, having kids is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna get. So
you just gotta deal with whatever it is you
gotta
get.
deal with what you got. So I am trying my best to bring life to a character that was already written very well. And that doesn't happen often either. That was another reason why I wanted this role, because it had been damn near 2 years before I saw in the breakdowns, which are breakdowns of auditions. We get breakdowns of different projects that come out. And it was the first time that there was a role written for a Black woman. I was like, wow. It's been 2 years since I've seen a role that was written for me.
Wow.
So I think if we had more opportunities like that in show business, I think diversity would be a lot more spread out in the world than it is now. We've come a long way, but I'm not satisfied. We got a long way to go.
Right. Why do you think it took that long for you to find a role that you felt that way about, a role that had been written for you for a Black woman?
Because we don't have people in positions of power. There are not many Black people in positions of power. Black people, period, we are diverse in and of ourselves. I mean, we do it all. And a lot of people have gone off the backs of Black women. And I always speak from the Black woman's perspective.
Right.
We comfort everybody. We help everybody. We take care of everybody.
And ourselves,
but when
too.
the fuck do we take care of ourselves? Really? We do not take care of ourselves enough. And me being a mother, I've learned that, wow, I really got to take care of myself first. Even when it comes to relationships. You gotta know yourself, take care of yourself first before you could take care of somebody else. It's just a basic principle.
Yeah.
And what taught me a lot about motherhood was being on a plane. I fly all the time. I'm damn near
just about to mention planes.
I'm damn near 5 million miles with American Airlines, and I'm sitting on a plane, and I finally sit down, and I'm listening to this. I'm like, okay, yeah, put on your seatbelt, do this, do that. I'm yada, yada. I've heard it all before. But when they said yes, and when your oxygen mask fall, and you are with a minor or child, put your mask on first.
Yes. Before
There's
you
a
can help
reason
somebody
for
else.
that. You know, and
Because if you lay that in the aisle, then your hands gone.
you can't help nobody
You know?
be dead. And
That's
I
so
think
real.
we as Black women we die daily. We die daily.
See?
And we have to start really,
shouting.
really learning how to live.
Take a sip on that.
So,
You know?
so how do you live? How do you take care of yourself? What does putting on your oxygen mask first look like? What's your routine?
Putting on my oxygen mask consists of a lot of things, and it was a very long time to get in these habits, and I think they're good habits. Being that my sister, who's behind me right now, she has 7 diseases. The last disease that she was diagnosed with was lupus, so we both decided to start our foundation, the We Win Foundation, that caters to people who have lupus and other autoimmune diseases. But being her caregiver taught me how to live physically. So I don't eat anything white. If it's white, it ain't right. So rice, starch, potatoes, sugar, pasta.
Macaroni and cheese?
Yeah. Did you say mac and cheese? And this is what I say too. You eat what you want, but do it in moderation.
Yeah.
But it's also all the artificial bullshit. They're feeding, I'm very funny even with my daughter. She has eczema, asthma. I never had all that shit. But we're living in a new age, so we have to take care of ourselves. And people who get lupus, who have lupus, because you don't get it, you're born with it.
Yeah.
People who have it, and watching my sister, how she conducts her life. When she found out she had lupus, she was given 7 years to live. She's a 13-year survivor. There's a reason for that. She had to change her life. So she's living by example, and I'm trying to follow her example, and we both, and the We Win Foundation, are trying to teach others how to live. Yes, I'm 47, and a lot of shit is going. Shit is sagging, breasts is sagging,
Oh, boy.
breasts is
You look
sagging,
great.
butt is
Stop
dragging.
it.
But I'm happy.
That's important. That is important.
I just try to live a healthy lifestyle, because when I'm happy, everybody else around me is happy.
I believe
When
that.
I ain't, you gonna know it.
I believe it. You're talking about you and your sister and your family life. I read your father was a police officer,
Yes.
and you've been really outspoken on social media about how the deaths of Black people at the hands of police officers is wrong.
Yes.
How does your father being a police officer inform the way you think about what's going on with Black Lives Matter?
I'm still very solemn, as upbeat as I am right now. I'm angry.
Of course.
I'm sick and tired. I'm upset. I'm disgusted. I don't want to see another Black man's soul leave his body in front of all of our eyes. I mean, it is unacceptable. And I wish I had solutions, but I don't. I think it's hard for me to find any kind of solution, because this systemic problem has been here forever. We've reached a boiling point. Do we boil, or do we fucking throw some water out that pot and start again? What do we do? Having my dad be a police officer, I remember seeing him as a child. I remember him coming home, literally walking through the front door and falling to his knees, crying, sobbing from the atrocities that he's seen. My dad actually got reprimanded when he used to work in Fort Greene projects. He was a housing cop. That was one of the worst projects. Cops would not even want to work near there. because of, what went on in that housing project. But my dad got reprimanded for helping people. He used to give food out. He was one of those beat cops that knew the neighborhood. Everybody knew his name. But isn't that the way it should be?
We need more of
We
those.
lost that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every cop is fucked up, but these new cops that come in here, they live 50 miles
Not
away
even in the
from
neighborhoods
where
they serve.
and they do their bullshit and go back to their homes and lay and rest their heads in peace while you kill somebody's child in the middle of the street and have no regard for it. It is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So what can I do as a so-called celebrity or having the platform that I have? I really am learning as I go. I'm not one of those people who really know how to censor myself.
Same.
I don't mind having, I don't. And, I have to have my sister watch my tweets before I press send.
She's like, yeah,
it's
I
gotta
do,
go
I do.
through the chain. I really try my best to use my platform as best as I can in a positive way, but everything that I'm dealing with ain't positive.
Yeah, it's hard.
This shit is horrible.
What do you teach your daughter about the police and what's going on now?
This is my daughter has been asking me about. She's like, well, Mom, are all policemen bad? And it's almost like, how do you keep your child from being fearful of the police?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, her grandfather used to be a policeman. So I refuse to teach my daughter out of fear. I teach my daughter out of love. I think there are certain things that we should not tolerate as a people. There are certain things we should not tolerate as mothers. There are certain things we should not tolerate as fathers, caregivers. Racism ain't going anywhere. That racism is just changing its face. It ain't going nowhere. Has it gone anywhere since this earth started? No.
It's been here as long as I've been here.
It's been here.
I don't know
Me
what
and
it's
all my
like without
34
it.
years.
It's been here, but you will respect me.
Well, the doors of the church are open. We're going to pass a collection plate around here.
While we're
Urshas,
filling our cups
deacons.
because I need both.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love to see people with a platform use it for good.
It's just so much. It's so much. And we're traumatized.
Yes.
Whether or not we want to admit it, I'm traumatized.
Well, you are doing the Lord's work. Praise. We have to talk about Martin.
We have shared love.
Talk about whatever you
We
want.
are
Shared love is too
light of a word.
easy a
It's too
phrase.
easy.
I like.
Why can I ask you why?
No, we only have 10 minutes.
Okay, give me 2 sentences each.
Okay, for me, I feel like it's been like as constant in my life as anything else has. Like I grew up watching TV, single mom, like raised by my mother and my grandmother. I'm at home. I got to have something to do. I would read, sure. But then TV, 8 o'clock, Thursday night, Friday night, I'm in front of the TV. And it always felt like such a safe space for me to laugh and see other Black people just being funny and goofy for no reason. Because we're not often allowed that space. We weren't then and we're not now, especially for Black women. And to see Black women being like physically funny, like running around with like
They don't care if you
bedposts on their heads, just like yeah.
You're ugly for comedy.
Ugly for comedy. Love
It was just so refreshing, and I just felt like normal watching that show because I'm weird, goofy, whatever. And I just felt like I was among my people then. And then like you go outside of your house and like all your friends are quoting Martin. You know what I mean? And it's just like it forged a community. It's aged so well. My niece was born in '93. Yeah, she loves it. I'm like, what you know about Hustle Man? What you know? What are you doing?
Yeah, just fun, simple comedy, but in a way where time just felt easier then. Even TV, I felt like it regressed and then went back because back then nobody cared that, you guys were all professionals. Well, except for Tom, we don't know what he did. But, you guys were just, nobody cared that you guys worked in corporate America. Like, I love that you and Gina had your job, and that technically Gina had a better job than Martin, but, like, it was still funny.
But it was just so edifying to find, like, another space where we could be some form of ourselves. Okay. It didn't feel like there were white people, like, writing, like, these characters of these people. It's just like, no, this is, like, normal-ass, regular-ass Blackness.
What I'm finding with, I think the synonymous thing here with both what both of you are saying is it's comforting.
Yes.
And isn't it? There's comfort in laughter. There's comfort in
And a lot of healing in laughter, too.
Healing. That's how I live my life. We didn't know what we had on Martin. When we came to work to laugh every day. Like all the real funny stuff happened off camera. I mean, but we didn't even realize what we had. And what made me realize what we had about 15 years ago, I had a guy walked up to me. He was like, yo, thank you, Ma. And I was like, why? And he says, I was locked up for 10 years for not ratting somebody out. And you and Martin, the whole Martin show kept me current. Y'all let me know while I was locked up. Y'all gave me hope because I was able to hear what was what the street lingo was.
Yeah.
Y'all were able to make me laugh. So we didn't know that we would touch so many lives. Even 28, 29 years. How long? 26 years. It's been. But the laughter's good for the soul.
No,
You just, okay.
Y'all are babies. You babies.
We have to ask. So in our countdown earlier, the number one episode as far as we are concerned was the Chilligan's Island episode.
Really?
Yes.
That was all improvised. Like,
fighting the puppet monster.
That was all improvised.
Everything.
Me and Martin by the time we finished that scene, literally we were drenched.
I was gonna say, y'all must have been tired.
I always will pay homage to Tim and Ray, two white guys that were our prop masters. You know, Fox back then did not want to pay for real animals. They were like, y'all a black show, you're a black show, we ain't giving y'all the budget, y'all ain't got the budget. We barely had caterer service. So they made what we called the rat puppy. We call it the rat puppy. And we call it the rat puppy. And Martin, what I love about Martin, and Martin taught me how to think quick on my feet, because once those cameras start rolling, you don't know what that motherfucker's gonna do. And he's a comedic genius. Yes. So I always followed his lead. Tisha, all of us, Tommy, Carl, we all followed Martin's lead. Wherever he goes, you go. And you gotta be ready. And that was one scene that wore me out. But my favorite scene.
Oh my God.
That's probably our episode number 2, top 2.
Bruh Man stole that CD.
Yes, I knew it.
That was our number 2.
To take off the Wesley Snipes movie. New Jack City.
With that Rottweiler puppet.
Girl,
oh my God.
When that dog fell, that stuffed animal fell, and now if you listen to that episode, you'll hear me go, I literally peed a little bit on myself. I laughed so hard. So hard.
And you all played off each other so
well. I don't know how you guys kept this straight. Like, I would have been.
We used to have competitions with each other. Tommy would always fall out first. Carl was always second.
Laughing,
and it got down to me, Tisha, and Martin. Oh, he could never keep it straight because he would, and you can watch his face. He's laughing while he's acting. It's like, dude, don't even try it.
We see you. We see you. My gosh. So a friend of mine has a theory.
Okay.
She referenced towards the end of the series, I think, when y'all were like sort of teasing around to see like if Pam could have a spinoff as like an A&R person.
That. Mm-hmm.
She swears
Going for Mine. That's what that episode was called.
Yes.
Going for Mine.
Yes.
With Dondre Whitfield.
She swears up and down that there was like a moment where it was hinted that there was some sort of like sexual tension or something between Pam and Martin.
Oh, wow.
Was there ever anything like that?
Never.
I was right. Nicole.
Martin, I would have whooped his ass. Oh, no.
I believe that you would have whooped
No.
I absolutely believe it.
Yeah, no sexual tension. I think because people wanted to see Martin. When you watch Martin and Gina, we used to have girls that would come sit in our studio audience, and every time Tisha would talk, they would suck their teeth. Could you imagine having to act like that?
I don't know how y'all did that.
Yeah, I mean, Tisha, she was real strong holding it together. But after a while, once the show was established, then everybody loved Gene. Like, it was like, oh my God, we love her. Because now you got a chance to see what their relationship goes through. You got a chance to see, and that was the wonderful thing about Martin. And Martin made sure, and the producers made sure that they kept true to the relationship. We had a lot of fights with the network. We had a lot of fights keeping the integrity of that show. Yes, Bill Cosby called us slapstick and whatever, and we were hurt by that. But you know what? We were very happy to be able to be on a show to express real, true Black love.
Right.
Yeah. We are starting the petition for a reunion at any chance we can get.
You know what? It almost happened. And I got it together. I made it almost happen. And you know what? Let's just leave it this way. Some best things are left there.
Oh my gosh.
You know, when you leave on top, leave it there. Leave it there. It almost happened, y'all.
My mouth is gaped open.
Okay. Thank you
so
much. I'm sure that you have 18 million things to do, and you came here just to talk to us, and it makes me feel so good. It's so good. If you, listeners, would like more of Tichina Arnold, Season 3 of Survivor's Remorse premieres July 24th on Starz. That Starz with a Z because it's fancy. And you can follow her on Twitter. She be going off on Twitter.
She do.
In the best of ways. You can follow her at Tichina Arnold. That is Tichina. Arnold, like Hey Arnold. Like like all the Arnolds, you know. It was so fun.
It was so fun.
How do I make her my best friend? Do you have any advice? So, Sylvia.
Oh, God.
You remember that time we interviewed Tichina Arnold?
Yes.
And we didn't have time for Pew Pew Pew?
Yes.
Do you also remember that time that Heben and I had you on the show?
Yes.
And interviewed you? And we didn't have time for Pew Pew Pew?
Yes.
You know what time it is now?
Uh-oh.
It's time for Pew 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 with Sylvia Marie Johnson.
That is not my name.
It is today. You know what? We'll keep it quick. We'll keep it simple.
Please not too personal. This is the problem when it's of somebody who's your friend, because Tracy, that was a lot about me. So I'm nervous.
You know what? No, this will be good. This will be very egalitarian. What smell or scent reminds you most of your childhood?
Honeysuckles.
Really? Why?
I used to live on a street called Honeysuckle Drive.
And it was full of honeysuckle?
Yeah, not full, but there were a few.
Enough to like smell?
Yeah.
Aww. Did you ever do the thing where you take the thing
all
out
the
of
time
it?
when I was a kid.
Aww.
By the time I left, I was in high school, so I was a bit more moody. But before that, definitely. I moved in when I was like 9. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was also one of the places I've ever lived the longest. So
And this was where?
New Jersey. Ewing, New Jersey.
Ewing, New Jersey?
609.
Ooh, next question.
Okay.
This is a really good question. If you could hear the deathbed confession of any one person in history, who would you choose? It's a good question, right? Oh my God. I found it in a book. I didn't make that up myself.
I would want to know. Okay, can I give 2 answers? No,
Yes.
can I give, okay. OJ
Ooh,
Simpson.
We already know what his confession is.
But I want to know what exactly
he literally
happened.
wrote a book about
If
his
I had
confession.
done it, this is what I would do.
Yeah,
It's the dumbest
if
thing
I
ever.
did it.
I want to know exactly what happened from OJ.
That's a good one, though.
And, you know, if Chloe's really a Kardashian from him both. And then also, I want to know, not Jay-Z, not Beyonce, but Julius, Beyonce's bodyguard.
The bodyguard.
What happened in the elevator?
Yo!
Tell me.
That is such a good one.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
What is the kindest thing that a stranger has ever done for you?
Ooh.
I mean, you get like free shit all the time. It's gonna be a hard question.
I live in New York City. There's not many kind
and you work in
strangers.
entertainment and media.
I mean, but
Oh
they
wait,
want
so
something.
you're saying that New Yorkers are not just like naturally like kind for no reason?
Shock. Spoiler alert.
What?
But when I lived in North Carolina, everybody was super sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, yeah, maybe North Carolina. I remember when I first was moving into my dorm freshman year, a bunch of young gentlemen helped me and my family carry my stuff up to my dorm, like unpack.
Aw. Now, was that their job to do that?
No,
Because
it was
sometimes
there was people whose job it was, but then there was them, to the point where we thought, my dad whispered to me at a certain point, "You think they're trying to steal from us?" Or do you think they really want to?
Yo, your daddy is me.
Because we were from Jersey, and in Jersey, when somebody
do they
off
want?
with a
What are they
karaoke
trying to
TV,
do?
they carry it to their house. So helping me pack or unpack is the kindest thing anyone could do for me, because I hate to do both.
It sucks. I actually like to pack because when I pack, I pretend that I'm like in like a Western or something, and there's like this horrible like band of robbers come in, or there's like a terrible wind sandstorm come in, and we gotta get the wagons together and we gotta head out. I also do this when I crochet. I'm like, oh, this winter's gonna be a bad one. Little Jenny needs
the same exact activity.
A blanket. Okay, next question.
Okay.
Would you rather never be able to experience orgasm or be perpetually experiencing orgasm? So like all the time. Oh my God. I didn't mean to. What's wrong? Sip some water. Put your arms up above your head. Somebody get us some bread.
That is a big extreme.
I feel like the answer is very simple.
Listen, because the thing is, okay, so everybody who's related to me, press stop now. But
yeah, they're gone. It's okay.
Obviously, I would not never want to have an orgasm again, so I have to choose the perpetual orgasms one.
All the time, though.
But the thing is, it's like, how would I get anything done?
You wouldn't, because you would always.
Or maybe I would get everything
orgasm
done with a smile.
Also, maybe, but not likely. You know what? If you Google, there's like an
I would always
condition.
be in a good mood.
I feel like it would be like. I feel like the equivalent of that, and if this sounds insensitive to people who actually have this real medical disorder, I apologize. But I feel like it would be like having the hiccups for the rest of your life.
I mean,
eventually it would just make you mad. Like, I just want to have a conversation without hiccuping. I just want to have a conversation
so
without
orgasm. Would you rather
orgasm.
have a world without knowing what an orgasm was like?
Yeah. I honestly would. Because, and this is where I got to tell my mama to cut off the... Cut your radio
It's only
off.
fair since you got
Cut
me
it
out
out
here in these streets.
Because for me, okay, so I like to refer to myself as a sexual camel. It's not a thing I'm proud of. I just feel like it's a useful description of myself. I can go for a very long time without having sex, without having an orgasm.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what part of the camel's
because
life.
camels don't.
So the water is sex. Got
the water would be sex in this way. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I like it. It could partially be because I've been on anti-anxiety medicine for so long that it dulls my libido a lot. It doesn't kill it all the way. Like, I still enjoy it. It's still nice. It's a thing that I enjoy. It's kind of like ice cream. If I can have some, it's cool. But I don't need it to feel full. You know what I'm saying? So I would much rather not experience orgasm than to do it, have it happen all the time.
I mean, I love sex, though, so that's hard.
But sex doesn't have to include orgasms.
It doesn't?
I wish everybody could see your face. You look so
worried. Not up in here.
You are a precious lamb of God. Precious.
Praise him. Lord Jesus.
She said it doesn't?
I mean, I know sometimes it doesn't, but I don't think that's the goal, you know? Like,
I mean,
I get that it doesn't always, but that's not the goal.
Right. I'm just saying,
a life without goals is
my life. I try to make as few goals as possible. Less disappointment.
Well, this was fun. Thanks for exposing a lot more about myself than I meant to.
That's what this show's for.
Sorry, everybody I'm related to.
You know what? Do not apologize for being yourself. All right, everybody. So if we sound a little bit different right now, it's because we are re-recording the rounds that we recorded when we spoke with Tichina Arnold, because some things happened last night and we both decided to change our rounds for different reasons, I'm guessing. But Sylvia looks like she's about ready to just pop. Sylvia, who is your round for?
My round is for Kim motherfucking Kardashian West. Because that woman, she just exposed Taylor Swift in the way I have dreamed about since she stole Beyonce's award for single ladies. That's how long I've been waiting for this day.
Wow. Okay.
It's a long time.
Very, 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 very quick background. So Kanye West married this girl named Kim Kardashian, right? And he also made this song called Famous, in which he drops a line that says something like,
I think that me and Taylor might still have sex.
Right.
I made that bitch famous.
Yes. So the song comes out. Taylor's like, oh my God, I can't believe.
I didn't know.
He's just, oh my God, he's stealing my, oh my God, he's taking
I'm
credit.
the victim
Oh my God.
again. It's like he took my award from me
This is
again.
terrible. Oh my God. So Kim and them are like, actually, he called you. You signed off on it. Don't play. And the Taylor was like, oh my God, I never. Oh my God. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Like,
And then Kim
even just say that.
I know. And then Kim was like, in GQ, like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of y'all coming from my man. I'm about to be ride or die in these streets.
Right. So this happened a long time ago, right? The whole Famous debacle.
Well, the Famous debacle happened when the album came out, when The Life of Pablo came out earlier this year.
And that was a while ago.
Taylor's team said that Kanye never called for permission. He just called to ask her to tweet it. The video clearly shows him saying, I just wanted to make sure you were cool with this. Basically asking for permission, which is something that most rappers don't do. And it's also something that Taylor Swift doesn't do. When she talks about her friends and ex-boyfriends. John Mayer has even gone on record saying he was hurt and embarrassed by when she did that to him. So the irony.
Right.
But now her camp is saying that really what they were saying they were mad about was the use of the term "that bitch" and referencing her. Because that's the one thing.
Forget the part where he's like, I made her famous. Forget about the part where he's like,
which is what her Grammy speech was about.
Right.
Or the misogyny part about we might still have sex, which is what she earlier was claiming about. No. Now she's mad about the "that bitch" because that's the only thing we ain't see her saying in the video. Kim, on the episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it was the GQ episode where she was shooting the thing. So on the episode, Kim showed the video of Kanye calling Taylor Swift. And then to double down...
Also, they play that on
Keeping Up with the Kardashians. There was a clip of it in the beginning of Kanye, of them talking about it. And they showed a little bit about... that there was a video that Kanye was recording in the studio and that Taylor was on it approving it. So, and then the whole episode was about Kim deciding whether or not she should do it. And then boom, Real Lifetime hits and you check Kim's Snapchat and she tweets, oh, you should check my Snapchat if you haven't.
Do you guys follow me?
Do you guys follow me? You should tonight. Going down. So... you go on her Snapchat and there it is in full-length motion picture form. Taylor's whole conversation with Kanye.
I even follow, I don't follow any celebrities on hardly anything. Like hardly anything, especially Snapchat. I follow 3 people on Snapchat.
It's the best place to follow celebrities, low-key.
I guess so. I'm certainly going to do it. But I even followed Kim on Snapchat last night just so I could be like, what is Twitter talking about? Because everybody was just Kimberly. I was like, what is going on?
It's worth Googling to find this video because all I'm saying is Katie warned us, Demi warned us, Calvin Harris warned us, Kim proved. She showed and proved today, y'all. She's a G.
So around for Nori's mama. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that. If you'd have told me last week that I would care about a Kardashian anything update, I'd have been like, nah. This has been very entertaining for me.
Yeah, I think it's just also because we've been through with Taylor, right? We've been waiting for the day.
You know what? I was rooting for Taylor for a while. I was really rooting for Taylor because, I mean, her story is really, really fascinating. She's a very talented songwriter, singer, all right, sure, whatever. But, I mean, like, she got started, like, when she was, like, 14, she's, like, writing these big hits for, like, country music stars. And it used to, like when the whole... I don't want to get too much into this, but I was just like, listen, it's false that he made her famous. I'm one of the few people who will say that out loud with my black ass mouth. It's false that he made her famous. He may have increased her notoriety, sure, but I mean, she was already famous and like stacking before he came along. And it does make me mad as a woman to see like another man being like attributed for some other woman's success. So on that point, I was stumping for her for a long time. And then she was just trying, she just chipped and she chipped and she chipped and she chipped away. And now I'm like, you know what, Taylor, I'm all out of.
And to your note also on the video, she said to Kanye that you got to tell the story the way it happened to you and the way you experienced it.
Yeah.
Talking about the, acceptance speech. And kind of encouraging him to talk more about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, girl, which way do you want it?
Yeah. I feel like Tyra Banks when she was yelling at Tiffany. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
I would never root
I've
for
never
her.
in my life yelled at a girl like this.
Anyway,
but
who knows, Kim?
I approve of this round. It's also a very nice reprieve from all the terrible news
I
that just
agree.
will not stop coming. So
It's a nice, refreshing pause.
yeah, I'll have a nice sip of tea to get me through the hard days. Not mad. So that was the thing that happened last night that made Sylvia change her round.
Yep, I was up all night just texting Tracy.
Yep.
We gotta go back in the studio. I got this hot verse to drop.
Oh my gosh. Hottest mixtape for 2016.
Got this fire.
But the thing that happened to me that made me want to change my round is that my body is preparing to release an egg this month. So I'm ovulating, right? And I realized this because I can always tell when I'm ovulating by the music that I listen to, right? Mm-hmm. So I had my grown-up playlist going. I'm just like, yeah, I haven't listened to this in a while. And I was like, oh, that's okay. So that's what's going on. Fine.
I'm very tempted to ask her what's on her grown-up playlist.
I will put this in the newsletter. It's bomb. So Jay Davy is a musical duo from LA. It's a guy and a girl. The girl's name is Jack Davy. She sings. And Jack has this very kind of I don't know how to describe it, kind of mousy. It's not it's not a deep voice. It's definitely high, kind of mousy, kind of squeaky, kind of imagine somebody who inhaled some helium from a balloon and the voice gets really squeaky and then as the voice starts to drop, but it doesn't drop all the way. That's what she sounds like. You just have to hear it. But listen, they make some of the sexiest music in the world. I'm going to get somebody pregnant to at least 3 of their songs. At least. I'm looking at my playlist right now.
You yourself or?
I mean, we'll see how it goes. You never know. But this song in particular, I'll play a little bit of it right now. It's called No More. It's on the album The Beauty and Distortion by Jay Davy. And it's just
I got a feeling that we ain't just friends no more. You got me feeling like I ain't got feelings no more.
Take me
just
now.
Literally whatever you want. Just here on a platter. That's it. That's all.
It kind of reminds me of the internet.
Yes. That's why I like the internet so much, because it makes me think of Jay Davy. There's this other song that they have called Let It Bleed, which...
It's perfect for your current condition.
For my current condition. So Let It Bleed, I don't think is supposed to be about sex, but that's what it makes me think of. There's a pulse in the back of the song, and it reminds you of a heartbeat. It reminds you of some time thrusting maybe going on. Maybe it's just me. Once again, I am ovulating, but Let It Bleed is a good song, and Private Parts is a good song.
These titles are so suggestive.
I know, right? There's a song called Mr. Mister. Shout out to Jay Davy. Shout out to my ovaries. It's great. Everybody go. My favorite album is Beauty and Distortion / Land of the Lost.
I'm gonna go listen.
You should start with No More.
Okay.
This is our first official guest hosted episode.
Oh, I'm honored.
You killed it. You did so good.
Thank you. The bourbon
Not that
helped.
I'm surprised. I'm just very excited. Bourbon always helps. And we have a gallon of bourbon.
Tracy showed me a bottle that was a water gallon. It was you think this is going to be enough?
It's bigger than my head, which is I have a pretty big head. Credits time. We did it.
We did it. We did it.
Thank you to Tichina Arnold. Seriously, come back any freaking time. We are going to be here. We have so many more questions that we did not get to ask you. Follow her on Twitter. Watch Survivor's Remorse. Seriously, come back on the show. It was so fun. And she drank with us.
She drank with us, and she was a good time, y'all.
Yeah,
she is
was
your
such a good
favorite
time.
auntie in your head, I swear.
So beautiful. Thank you to my co-host, Sylvia Marie Johnson-Jenkins.
Or Sylvia Mary Atieno Bell.
Sure. If you want to do it the easy way. Excuse me. Sylvia Sylvia, remind the people of where they can find you on the Twitters and such. Don't give them your Snapchat. Don't do that to me.
Okay, so listen, she always reminds me to do the Snapchat. If you want to see Tracy in her best drunken moments,
don't do it. We're cutting all this out.
Occasionally, Sylvia Snaps 2015, because I didn't think I would have a Snapchat for this long. And and on Twitter at Sylvia Obell, that's SYLVIA, B as in boy, ELL.
Okay. Stick to the Twitter.
Also the Snapchat.
Don't do the Snapchat.
Especially today. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you to the Pod Squad. This episode was produced by Eleanor Kagan, who looks great today.
And every day.
And also Antonia Sarahito, who also looks great today.
Yes.
Per usual. Production help from Julia Furlan and Meg Kramer. Thank you to our in-house musicians, Miss Jean Gray. You can follow her on Twitter at Jean Greasy. And Don Will of the Almighty Tanya Morgan. You can follow him at DONWILL. I tweet at Broken McPoverty because I don't have no damn money. Instagram is the same. I have Snapchat too. I don't use it. I'm not good at it.
But when she does, y'all, she's usually drunk. So it's usually great.
She overhyping everything. It's not that good. But you can follow me on Snapchat at Tracy.face, TRACY.face. Hopefully you know how to spell face. And of course you can follow Heben on Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram. I think that her name is the same on all the things at Heben Rants. That's heaven like the place in the sky, and rants like a thing that there's some white man is doing on Twitter right now.
And or Kanye West.
And or Kanye West. Yes. And she'll be back next week in the driver's seat. We are so excited.
Yay, Heben, come take us back. Tracy's crazy.
Get out, Sylvia Lee. Subscribe to the newsletter. There's so much great stuff from this episode that we're going to include, plus random videos, self-care tips. Also, we spotlight a new Black podcast every week. If you have a Black podcast and you would like to have it featured in our newsletter, send us an email at anotherround@buzzfeed.com and we'll help guide you through the process. If you are not subscribed to the newsletter, oh my God, it's free. It costs you nothing. It takes 2 minutes to sign up. Go to buzzfeed.com/anotherround/newsletter and get free great shit in your email inbox every Friday around noon. Ooh, we also have merch. Do you know how many people have tweeted us pictures of the mugs? You can get to it at shop.buzzfeed.com. Search for Another Round and you'll find it. If you have stuff to say, if you have thoughts, hit us up at anotherround@buzzfeed.com. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Another Round. Rate us on iTunes. Tell a friend. Drink some water. Take your meds. Call your mom. Get some floss. Take care of your teeth. Live your life. Follow Sylvia. She's great.
Yay.
She's doing some weird drunk bounce thing right now.
Don't listen to her.
Duh. Oh, you called me a liar?
I am great, though. She didn't lie about that.
True. We did it. Y'all can't see it, but we both did the Pam 90s Puff Daddy video dance.